In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, peace be upon you. Does God exist or not? This is a question that humans have asked in every era. Even in the oldest books we have today, the Sumerian tablets, there is discussion about God, whether he exists or not. Some people say God exists. And some people say if he exists, then why can't we see him? If you study these ancient books that tell us the story of the last 6,000 years, you will see that 7 types of people have come forward to answer this question. First, those who had complete faith in God. They used to say that they were 100% certain that God exists. Second, those who felt that God exists but lacked a lot of certainty in their belief. Third, those who wanted to believe but were searching for some proof. Fourth, those who were completely neutral about this matter. They didn't know whether God exists or not, they were just concerned with their daily problems. Fifth, those who said they would only accept God when they received concrete proof. These are the people who always demanded evidence. Sixth, those who were nearly atheists. Maybe God doesn't exist. They used to say that if God existed, there would never be evil in this world. Things like that. And seventh, those who were completely adamant that God does not exist. If you understand the psychology of these people, you will see that apart from divine guidance, these people desperately need one thing: some scientific evidence. These people say, give us answers with logic. Give us scientific proof that God exists. And this is not an easy matter because from the spirit of Islam, about the Lord, Allah, the Quran says, there is nothing like him. So then how can you prove Allah's existence through logic or science or physics? But what if I tell you that yes, through the laws of physics itself, we can prove Allah's existence? What if, through physics itself, I prove to you the existence of the Creator, the maker of physics, God? Sometimes things make their presence felt despite not being visible. For example, at around 4 in the morning, a very faint star is visible whose name is Proxima Centauri. One special thing about this star is that it is our nearest star, but it has another special characteristic, and that is when this star was observed 12 years ago, it was discovered that its movement was very strange, as if some unseen thing was pulling it toward itself. And after all the calculations, the conclusion was reached that this unseen thing must be some planet like our Earth that is pulling it. You should know that for 4 years, scientists kept believing in this theory that although they couldn't see it, there was some planet that was pulling Proxima toward itself. And this theory proved true in 2016 because then for the first time that unseen planet became visible, whose name today is Proxima Centauri b, a planet that for a long time was not visible to anyone but definitely existed. And this technique of science is called predictive modeling. And today, using this same technique of science, I will give you proof that God exists. But what is science after all? Science is the study of the universe. While the Quran claims that the one who controls this universe is also Allah. This claim is mentioned in Surah Fatir. All praise is for Allah, creator of the heavens and the earth. But later in the same surah is a very powerful verse that the one who holds these heavens and earth is also Allah, so that they may not move from their place. And if they do move, then no one except Allah can hold them. Who is Allah? The one who not only created this universe but is also sustaining it. And now the time has come for us to apply our predictive model and see whether Allah really exists. Let me tell you an amazing fact. Our entire universe and its complete existence is based on just 57 numbers. Numbers that always remain the same. These numbers never change. And these 57 numbers are called physical constants. These numbers have been observed in the biggest things. For example, the speed of light, which always travels at the same speed throughout this universe. This number always remains the same throughout this universe. Or gravitational force whose strength remains at this number. Even the speed at which this universe is constantly expanding, which is 73 kilometers per second per megaparsec. This speed never changes. Or one of the most powerful forces of this universe, the electromagnetic force, which always remains at this number. I told you that these numbers have been observed in everything from the biggest things to the smallest things. For example, a particle smaller than an atom, the electron, whose weight always remains at this number. Or other tiny particles like electrons, protons, whose weight always remains at this number. These and 57 other such numbers always remain the same in this universe. Now, the interesting thing is that these numbers are so accurate and so balanced with each other that if there was even a hair's breadth difference in them, and I really mean just a hair's breadth, then neither would this universe exist, nor would we. For example, if gravity was even slightly less or slightly more, then stars would either be very hot or become completely cold. But what difference would this make? You might be thinking that if there were no stars, what would happen? At most, the night sky would be darker. So what difference would it make to me? Right? You are very wrong, because if there were no stars, we wouldn't exist either, because the elements from which we are made were once created inside stars. And if that star was too hot or too cold, then no element would ever be created inside it. But what is this element? Look around you. Everything you can see, including your own body, is all made of matter. That's why we call it the material world. And all this matter is made up of just 118 elements, most of whose names you have heard. For example, your body is made up of just 6 elements: oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, and hydrogen. Just think, where did these 6 things or all this matter come from? From stars. And how? You know that after the birth of this universe, hydrogen was created in just 20 minutes because the size of the proton was exactly perfect. Now, since hydrogen was formed, stars were made from it. Then, after these stars were formed, nucleosynthesis occurred inside them, and after that oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, and everything else was made inside the stars. Now just imagine that if there were no stars, there would be no oxygen and no carbon. And if these 2 things didn't exist, neither I would exist nor would you. Let me tell you another very interesting thing here. Let's say that the perfect size of protons could have been a coincidence, but one of the 4 great forces of this universe. Electromagnetic force. If it was even slightly less or slightly more than this number, then hydrogen atoms could never combine to form even one molecule. And if molecules weren't formed, this universe would be nothing more than a big cloud. These 57 numbers are absolutely perfect and in perfect balance with each other. And the amazing thing is that they don't deviate from their places either. It seems as if this entire universe was designed for just one purpose: the creation of life. After saying all this through the predictive modeling technique, we are left with only 2 possibilities. First, that we shamelessly say that all this was just a coincidence. Or we accept that there is someone unseen who has bound these 57 numbers like Proxima Centauri, creator of the heavens and the earth, who is holding this universe so that it may not move from its place. There is someone who has never let these 57 numbers decrease or increase. Because if these numbers decrease or increase, if these numbers move from their place, then except for that unseen Lord, no one else can hold them. That Allah, Lord of honor, who is not visible but whose existence is felt everywhere. Creator of the heavens and the earth, Allah, Lord of majesty and honor, the one and only.